Welcome to a new video. You're coming to us live from many months ago when we were pulling into Selby Lock on the River Ouse after having travelling down from York.
I wondered where you were going with that.
Well, into the lock, primarily. I've just done a button hook turn.
So at this point I'm crouched on the back of the boat hiding because...
You're in denial.
Yeah.
That's what we call it. Joe's space in the back there where she holds on to George with both fists and worries that I'm about to smash the boat into something and never do.
Well, you do say things like prepare for a bump, you say.
Well, yeah, bump, not prepare to go in the water.
Yeah, not too hard.
Didn't look easy from down here.
Are you still in denial at this point, or are you standing?
I believe I still am. Still in denial.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, because you needed to get the shot, obviously.
I mean, to be fair, there is a lot of water coming down.
Well, I mean, yes.
Which will send the boat sideways.
So 5.5 miles, but no locks to the river.
On the canal, yeah.
I can definitely see the argument for getting as far as we can. But we'd have to be going till 4 o'clock, right?
I'm just looking.
Well, that's what we're trying to make up our mind. I've got a call at 4 o'clock I've got to be moored up for. But I think we could probably get all the way to Nottingley, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hello, little one.
So at this point, I don't think we've decided where we're going. And I think I'm still hoping that we might be stopping in Selby just above this lock.
Alright, so we do have a swing bridge ahead of us.
I seem to remember there being some reason we were not going to stop in Selby.
We were heading to Leeds because the last time we visited it was lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some closures around Leeds in a few days' time. So we had to get into Leeds and out of Leeds. And obviously we're on the rivers, so there's a chance that they can go into flood and we can just get stuck. So we were on a bit of a schedule, yeah. We did the Neighbourne to Selby section much quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we thought it was going to take 5 hours and it only took 3 or something. So we've got more time than we thought.
He's free, got that. Here's hoping I don't need a windlass.
Well, I'll just wait here in case you do.
A really nice lock keeper at Selby.
I like Selby.
Yeah, I don't know how much traffic it gets because obviously it's got the tidal river on one end and then the non-tidal river Aire at the other end. It's only 5 miles long, so it's a bit of a through route rather than a destination.
I seem to remember we spent a little bit of time there once and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But as we were coming through, I was like, I can't remember what it was.
That you enjoyed. And we're still in the era of you doing the swing bridges and me driving the boat.
Is that era not...
Yeah, it's continuing, yeah.
Yeah, it's continuous. It's the modern era, before the dinosaur days, after the dinosaur days.
We'll go into our postmodern era soon, when I'll be back on the walk.
I like the idea of a postmodern era. I'll do some, like, impressionist boat painting.
I can't believe I made you do all the driving for 5 years.
It was cruel and unusual punishment.
I prefer it now.
Okay, come on, George.
Do you want to walk George for a bit?
Probably not a bad idea if there's places to...
Well, there's towpath all the way along the canal.
Okay.
Give me the VHF and the, otherwise you're going to overheat real quick.
I don't want to have like a long walk.
No, well just tell me, just wave me when you want me to pick you up.
Probably not very long at all.
All right, just wave me then.
All right.
Not too many boats moored up, which is sad. Mind you, it's not the prettiest moorings, is it? Do you remember what happened here?
No.
You'll get reminded in a second.
What the hell happened to this? Jojo? This isn't a poo bag, this is a poo sheet of plastic.
I remember there was a broken one now.
Yeah, I've got it. He's free. Got that. Okay, may as well just pick us up.
And you had said you weren't going to walk far, but you do call me over much quicker than I thought you were.
Well, because I ended up with some difficulties.
Come on.
It's a good doggy.
There you go. Welcome to Selby. Where thus far, there's been 2 moto factors, a Enterprise rent-a-car and a place that apparently recycles stuff. Okay,
Toll Bridge.
that was Selby Toll Bridge, talking to Selby Bypass Bridge. Selby Bypass Bridge, hi, this is Selby Toll Bridge. Are you still there? Yes, we're still in the same location, but it hasn't moved. Ah, shocking. Okay, well.
And we're Scottish again.
And again, we're Scottish.
So the outskirts of Selby continue for a little while.
I mean, if you think widely enough, all of England is the outskirts of Selby.
Big warehouse, another bridge. This is the railway bridge. And lots of graffiti as usual.
Yeah, I tell you, the graffiti improves as you get closer and closer to Manchester. It's a little more vulgar out towards Selby, and then it just gets, you know.
Are you judging places on their quality of graffiti?
No, not. I mean, I'm not really judging the places. I'm judging the graffiti, right? It's just kind of funny that some of these areas, like Selby in Leeds has graffiti, but Leeds doesn't have graffiti that's as nice as Manchester's.
The Canal and River Trust have been very diligent in putting up blue signs on every single bridge. But it's funny because some bridges will just say Bridge 5 on the blue sign. It's very helpful.
But it's better by water. See? It's better down there by the water.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I think this is the motorway bridge. Should we see which motorway it is?
I have a feeling it's the Selby bypass.
I think it's the A63.
So not a motorway then?
No. Just a big road.
To those not in England, motorways all start with M's. And whatever they call them, it's funny, M roads are not all M roads, they're motorways. But A roads are A roads, not aortas. Or
Automobile road.
automobile roads, or what, yeah. You know.
This looks like it was possibly an old bridge that's gone. I can't-
Autoways. Autoways would make sense. I wonder if the fish in this river have a Selby date.
Oh dear. Do you think this was a swing bridge?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember these ones. You can sort of see the mechanism.
Looks like there's some volunteers painting out the graffiti there.
It's just another form of graffiti, really.
I don't know how many sets of official moorings there are on the Selby Canal, but these are the only ones I remember apart from the ones at the start and the ones at the very end. George is 14 now. He was 14 this week. And he's still a reluctant boat dog, although he enjoys the boat more than he enjoys walking these days. He asks to come back on the boat, which he never used to do.
He does enjoy his sleeps these days.
I don't-
He's still quite active, which is really good fun, like, you know.
Chasing his ball.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too many options for rural moorings along the Selby Canal. It's really overgrown, and the towpath looks fairly high up there.
I'm not sure that there's ever a circumstance in which there's not enough mooring space available on Selby. It's not the largest demand.
I know, but some people really like the really rural moorings, don't they?
Yeah, that's true.
It's certainly peaceful along here. There's hardly any walkers. There's no other boats moving. Only a couple of stationary boats. Oh, I remember this. We followed this heron for ages.
I don't remember when I got convinced that it was a real heron, not a statue.
Probably when it took off, don't you think?
No, in winter my brain doesn't work all that quick, so it's entirely possible. I was like, maybe it is a statue. Somebody's put robotics into it or something.
See, I don't think they're moorings. I think they're just a little picnic spot on the towpath. Another swing bridge location, and the heron still. It's really stunning to watch them fly. They're so big and They look so gangly, but they manage to be quite elegant at the same time.
They always remind me of kind of old gay men. I don't think I can qualify that. It's just something that... It's like crows remind me of old straight men. And ravens.
I think this is called Paper House or something. Paper House Bridge. But I don't know why there's a paper house.
I dare say it melted in the English rain.
There's a paper house. But I don't know why it's called Paper House.
It's made of brick. Clearly it replaced the original when it melted in the English rain. One does not build an English house out of paper.
And another swing bridge location. I believe this is a wide canal though. Must be a tight fit for a wide beam.
I don't think it's that tight.
Snug fit.
I mean, snug fit in the way that a narrow canal is for us.
Yeah. One of the few houses at this end. So this is West Haddlesey Lock that we're coming up to now. I think it's like not even a village, I think it's just a tiny little hamlet. And there's quite an unusual boat on the moorings here. Remember it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that thing did strike me as pretty bizarre.
And unique.
Yeah.
And it's got a little outboard on the back. But it's very long and thin and looks like it's trying to be a battleship or something.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is with that one, but it does look kind of bizarre military.
So this is quite a big lock, but we're pretty much at the river level, so I don't think there's much of a... can't remember if it's a drop or a rise. But I guess it's got really big gates to protect the canal from the river in times of flood.
Yeah, well, this one's a flood lock.
So is it usually open? Because it's always been shut when we've been there.
I think it does open at times because the guidebook, the very, very old Nicholson's guide that we had, did say something about is warning you not to go beyond the mooring area if you weren't able to make it in through the lock, if it wasn't on the level. So I guess there's times of the year in which it's on the level, basically.
Better go and get the boat.
Right?
Better go and get the boat.
Because now you can only turn right here to go on the River Aire to Bank Dole, but I'm pretty sure you used to be able to turn left.
Well, now there's just a weir, right?
Yeah, there's a weir, but I think that was originally, I don't know when, how many years ago, but the navigation all the way to Goole.
It would be exciting to enter Goole from a different direction. Because you know what they say, all roads lead to Goole.
They don't, nobody says that.
No, that's true. But we've been there twice, and I'm not sure how, I'm not sure how you can quantify the fact that you end up in Goole twice in a lifetime by boat.
So for me, this is quite hairy. I'm leaving the canal and going onto a river where I've got to stop and pick you up on a pontoon. And like when I get out there, I realise I've got nothing to worry about because the flow is absolutely minimal. But
you were still...
I still feel quite brave.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're quite brave for,
trusting that you could deal with...
risking getting left behind.
Basically zero current.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think there probably was a moment in which I was like, what happens if she just plotters off? It's quite a placid river.
It really is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not always like that.
No. I mean, it definitely can go into severe flood. Hence why the weir is of such great use. Nice sky.
Camera fire. Yeah, I mean, I remember it being quite windy because there's just no cover. And also it's a very windy river. It's had no kind of canalisation. So it's very, very meandery.
But you can see from that dolphin that it can go quite a bit higher.
Yeah. It's so funny though, as much as I like driving now, if we're both on the boat, you'll always take the tiller just automatically.
Well, that's because...
You get bored if you don't.
Well, I get bored if I don't, and also when I get on there, you get out of the way, and all of a sudden there's a
That's because I feel bad, because I know you're going to get bored if you have to sit down.
Okay. So, as long as I'm not getting blamed.
No, I do make way for you most of the time, but you do have an expectation as well.
I just find an empty tiller. I just show up and I'm like, look, throttle not in anybody's hand, tiller wobbling around free.
Wobbling, it's not wobbling.
Sometimes it's wobbling.
Bear in mind, we've come all the way from Selby this morning, and then we've done 5 miles, so we're getting tired. Well, I'm getting tired.
We're on the River Aire.
Yeah.
I remember it being very
Aire.
rivery.
It's kind of strange to name it the River Aire, not the River Water.
I'm pretty
I
sure
wonder if there is a river called the River Water.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this in the last video.
Oh, probably. Far be it from me to do the same joke twice.
I say we're on the River Aire, and then you say it's very, and you say rivery, and I say rivery, and you say airy. Like,
How do you put up with my sense of humor? How does anybody put up with my sense of humor?
How was West Haddlesey floodlock for you?
Oh, it was fine, except for the one great big paddle gear mechanism. Like, it just seems to be broken, but I couldn't tell. So there's a shaft that looked like it's up, and then I move it and it drops, but then no matter how I move it, it doesn't raise again. So anyway, hopefully I didn't just break it permanently.
Pretty sure you didn't.
Probably not.
So you've got 6 miles on the River Aire, and 1 lock in the middle, and 1 lock at the end.
Is it 6 miles?
It's 6 miles to Dole.
6 miles to MEMENTO.
Or 6.5.
Oh yeah, with the big curvy bits.
Yeah, at one stage we'll be going back in the direction that we just come. Or more than one stage.
Oh yeah, and this is the one with that picture where it looks like the weir covers the entire
Oh yeah.
river.
I remember I had problems with this lock last time. I think it was really heavy for me. But the river's probably a bit lower now, so.
Yeah.
And it's the 8th.
And then Dole is the
really depressing place.
really incredibly depressing place. It's just like, could not be less depressing.
And when we got there last time, there was some kind of repair or something going on in the lock, so we were just stuck waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we'll get to Nottingley here, or West Ferry. I don't know what it's called.
That's where there's a little.
Yeah, and then it's 3.5 hours. No, 2 hours 47 minutes according to Canal plan to get to Castleford. So I'd like to get there today, but I don't think we're going to have time with the phone call.
Yeah.
And it's just river, so it's not like you can make it half the way or anything.
No, it's not that far to Flood Ferry.
No, so we can get to Flood Ferry, but then it's whether we do that whole river section to there.
Which would be good, because that would put us 1 day from Leeds, right?
Yeah. You had enough, George? Should we go and have a nap inside, you and me? I mean, I don't want to, obviously, but if you need me to, I can do.
Have a nap with George? You can do that if you need to.
Well, who's going to keep an eye on you?
I'll keep an eye on me.
oh, so here's that boat that we don't know the story, but it seems like quite a foolish place to moor up on a river that's going to flood.
Well, I mean, I tend to think they probably didn't know it was going to flood, that they were probably assuming they'd be back before.
Yeah, maybe they got called away or something. So yeah, you said there was a padlock on the front and all their stuff was still inside.
Yeah, well, it was obvious that they'd moored up and then left the boat there, and then, very sadly, the river had gone into flood and then probably dropped it back again.
But if it dropped it like that, then there's a chance there's no water inside, right?
Probably not.
Yeah, just whether they can get it level again.
Well, they'd have to... See, that's the problem, is you'd either need to be there waiting for the river to come up,
Yeah.
or you'd need to get out there with a great big crane and everything.
And it depends what's on the other side. I mean, I imagine it's farmers' fields, but who knows what the accessibility is like.
Yeah.
But you can see in this time lapse, like, how bendy this river is, and how open it is, and how bleak it is.
It is very bleak.
And we've only ever been there on grey days, I think. I'd like to be there on
I don't think there is anything but grey days here.
I'd like to see it on a blue sky day, because I think everywhere looks nicer on a blue sky day.
I don't think they've known a blue sky day.
They must have, because I don't know, they must grow things there. Look, they grow hay.
Hay doesn't need
It needs
It's
sunshine.
not known for needing a lot of sunshine, is hay.
I don't know about growing hay. So yeah, there's one lock in the middle of, well, halfway between West Haddlesey and Dole. And I remember it being really heavy because I did it the last time we came this way. But you're in your lock keeping era, so.
I like this lock.
What do you like about it?
What it is overall that I liked about its location and stuff. I just remember that when we pulled in there, I was like, this is actually quite a pleasant location.
It's very remote. There's a few houses, I think.
And yeah, it's quiet, and there's, I remember there was a bunch of kingfishers.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. That I remember when we were here thinking, this would be the place where I wish I could have like a lockkeeper's cottage sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we've arrived at Beale Lock. It says in the book that it's an 8-foot drop. But the weir's just over there and it looks like 1 foot, 2 foot maximum. So maybe it's 8 foot in flood. Or maybe it's an 8-foot chamber. Who knows?
Oh, you can see from the watermark, we don't have far to go up today.
So many turns for so little water. Though they're better than the ones on the River Nene.
Mm. We went across through a wash just to avoid those locks.
Mm-hmm. The electrically powered ones are fine. You look very warm and comfy.
I remember this day, I think we're both wearing all of the clothes we own.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've both at least got like
Multiple layers.
leggings, tracksuit bottoms, jeans, waterproof trousers, 3 pairs of socks, 5 sweatshirts, a woolly jumper, a coat.
I don't think it's all the clothes that we own.
Pretty much.
I'm like not walking around with 6 pairs of underwear.
But again, the really big heavy gates for when it's in flood.
They build them solid round Selby.
Okay, so this really confuses me. Just outside the lock there's the gauge which shows the water level, but I don't understand why it goes from green to red to green to red to green to red to green to red. Like, is it safe, not safe, safe, not safe, safe, not safe? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
When it's really high, it's in the green.
I have a feeling that's not being used to tell you about the river conditions. I don't know what that is. Though it would be funny if you had a river with sort of local stabilities, It's like, oh, we've gotten into this place. Now it's not going to kill you. Now it's crazy. No,
Look at you with your hot water bottle. You took it out to the lock with you.
It was cold.
Oh, it hurt my back.
Did you slip when you were pushing?
Yeah, I went to push up against it, my feet slipped, and then my whole back like slammed up against it.
Yeah, I've done that. I mean, not as bad as it sounds like you've done it, but yeah.
So you fancy one of those cottages, do you?
I think I remember liking the area, but not seeing the
houses.
building that I went, that's the one.
Well, you can see how high the water must have been when that boat got stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't have been fun to be on the river then, even if it was in the green section at the top.
It's fun to be meandering along a meandering river.
Do you enjoy turning the tiller then?
I've always enjoyed rivers. Like, canals can be quite boring.
Yeah, and there's so few boats as well compared to most canals. I don't know how we're going to cope being back on the busy canals.
Oh, first we've got to get there. Manchester Ship Canal won't be busy, at least. Well, actually, who knows? Maybe it will be now. This is where we're getting fairly close to the lock, right?
I think I've gone inside now because it's raining. Yeah, it looks like the signs of civilization ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's as blue the sky has ever been.
There it is. No, this one's exciting because the lock landing's down the side of the lock. So once I've dropped you off, I'm going to have to reverse to get in. My idea of exciting is very messed up.
I mean, you are on a river.
Yeah, and if you carry straight on here, you get to a weir. But we rejoin the Aire that I think it's called Flood Ferry, a bit further up. But we need to go up onto this Canal section. You got the gates open just in time for me. Yeah, it looks like there's quite a ecosystem going on that gate. So it absolutely stunk in this lock. Do you remember? It was really whiffy. And then when we got to the top, there was this weird, like, I didn't manage to get much of it on film, but there was just all this pollution bubbling up. It's like we disturbed the water and...
Yeah, there was that sheen of like diesel and oil that had gotten in there.
But it was bubbling up from the bottom. It was really bizarre, as well as very smelly.
Yeah, it was the first time I was ever a little bit worried about the canal catching on fire.
But yeah, this is the bleakest place I think we've been to. But there's this really nice lock cottage there that is just crumbling. But yeah, if the area wasn't quite so bleak, someone should rescue the lock cottage. This is funny. I call you over to help me do the...
And then you walk...
And I just get up and leave you to... I don't think you were happy about that.
It's like, wait, I've been bamboozled.
Yeah, so I think we're going to end this video here. But, spoiler, we do decide to go all the way on to Castleford. Castleford?
Castleford, not Castlefield. It's the ford of the castle, not the field of the castle.
Okay.
Yeah, there was so much pollution in this lot. I think somebody probably dropped a barrel in or something.
But why? By accident?
No, just like...
To get rid of something?
Yeah, like fly tipping.
That's the end of this video. We've made it to Bank Dole, where we leave the River Aire and we join the Aire and Calder navigation and push on towards Castleford.
Yes.
Thank you for watching.
Hope you enjoy. Glad the lock didn't burn. It's kind of funny. I just remembered that I was listening to a documentary on kiwi made by Business Insider talking about the new golden kiwis, which I still haven't tried a golden kiwi. They started showing up in all the British markets, but they're more expensive than green kiwi, and I don't really understand why I would want to.
Maybe you should treat yourself to a golden kiwi.